It's just made sense. Why? Do I need to explain? I feel like those that know me, you know me. If you know, you know. Those that don't, well, you know, you'll learn.
Other people, I'm sure. The Supreme Court has held repeatedly said I don't think it would be.
What can you tell them, brothers?
If you can't keep your opponents from scoring, just outscore them yourself.
Just Made Sense, episode 11, episode 11, número 11, as they would say in Spanish, the lovely language of Espanol. I am your host, Jus, capital J, lowercase u, lowercase s. All right, this is the football episode. Before we get into our great interview with another professional athlete, another professional NFL player that plays at a high level, that's well-spoken, that gets the job done. Real quick, I want to say Happy New Year once again to everybody. We made it to 2019. This is the first episode of 2019, the first episode of season 2 of Just Made Sense. We are going to keep it going. We are flowing. We are on a roll right now. Just Made Sense, episode 11, season 2, 2019, Just Made Sense. We here. Real quick, before we get into our interview, let's talk about what happened over this weekend. Playoffs, NFL, football. I know you watched it. I didn't, but I saw the highlights. Chiefs beat the Colts 31-13. Knew that was going to happen. Chiefs are killing it right now. The quarterback, rookie, he's awesome. Rams beat the Cowboys 30-22. Now, I told a lot of people I was not sure who would win this game, but I didn't count the Cowboys out. I know a lot of people like to hate on the Cowboys, you know, for whatever reason. They have a lot of fans, a lot of ride or dies. Rams been on a roll ever since they got to LA again. So, you know, close game. Cowboys, they had a chance. They lost, of course. You know, that happens to the Cowboys. They take a lot of L's on a regular basis. Cowboy fans, do not send me tweets or death threats or anything like that. I don't want any problems, no smoke with y'all. But Rams won. Patriots played the Chargers. They won 41-28. Of course, the Patriots beat the brakes off the Chargers. You know, look, listen, I'm not a fan of any particular team, but the Patriots, they dominate every year, so that wasn't a surprise. I didn't think they were going to get blown out like that. I mean, they got dubbed 41-28. That's a pretty, you know, serious margin of loss there for the Chargers. But, I mean, you know, the Chargers, when's the last time they've been that good anyway? So, I mean, great season. They did their thing, but, you know, who's really going to beat Brady? Saints beat the Eagles 20-14. Was that a surprise? No, they're both good teams. The Eagles, they're not the same team they were when they won the Super Bowl a year ago. So, you know, that one was a toss-up. It could have went either way. So, Saints are moving on. All these teams will be playing, I believe, this Sunday or Saturday. So, I definitely got to check those out because I missed these games last week. I had to catch the highlights after the fact. But, yeah, right now the playoffs are really heating up for the NFL, and the only reason I'm paying attention is because my Lakers are doing trash right now. LeBron, please come back. I don't know how serious his injury is. I don't know if he's out for the season or what, but Lakers look garbage right now. We look basura. So we need some help. Lakers, you know, let's get it together, all right? But just real quick, once again, I want to say how thankful I am for everybody rolling into the new year with me. For joining me on this podcast journey, this fantastic voyage. It's been so much fun. I'm glad we made it to 2019. I'm glad we're now in season 2, and just be ready for a big year, y'all. Not only did we have this great interview that you're going to hear in a few seconds here, I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I was live from the red carpet at the Golden Globe Awards. If you want to check out that footage, you can go to Justice Rogers TV. That's right, no more Justice Real. We're moving on up. It's a new year. Big things on the way. So if you go to Justice Rogers TV, that is my new Twitter, my new Instagram. Same everything except, you know, no more Justice Real. We're now Justice Rogers TV. That's Justus Rogers, ROGERS TV. You can go on there. I believe it's on my IGTV, my Instagram TV channel. If you go on there, you can see my coverage from the red carpet at the Golden Globe Awards from this year. Very awesome. Got to, you know, mingle with stars and whatnot and be on the red carpet and throw on a nice vanilla white, vanilla cream suit jacket, sport coat, blazer, whatever you want to call it. Just know I was dipped. I was out there trying to look my best celebrity status. But it was a great time, man. Really enjoyed it. Great opportunity. Looking forward to doing more red carpet coverage. Like I said, a lot of things coming in 2019. A lot of things on the way. A lot of things that got started in 2018 that will continue in 2019. So keep on rolling with us. Keep trotting along, and I'll do my best to make sure y'all have the content that y'all enjoy the most. So for this episode of Just Made Sense, we interviewed NFL rookie DJ Reed. All right, folks, so we have rookie defensive back number 32 for the 49ers, DJ Reed. First of all, congrats on a great and healthy season, DJ.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, DJ, man, how does it feel to be able to come back home to Bakersfield after completing your first full NFL season? What is that feeling like?
Well, first, it's a blessing to be able to play in the NFL. It's always been a dream come true. And, it's crazy just looking back at the season, the good, the bad, the highs and lows, everything. It's just a blessing, man, just to get the opportunity to play. And I'm in Bakersfield right now, just spending time with my family. And, I feel real good about everything.
Absolutely. And now that you've made it to the league and you've played a full season, did you ever have any flashbacks or reminisce at all about when you were in high school playing games at Independence, or maybe some of those practices back in high school? Did you ever think about those times and where you're at now?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You always, you just have like random moments, just how far you look back at how far you came, when I was at Independence playing, receiver and, corners, playing on the position, and just to see how far you've come, just from having no offers to, walking on at Fresno State to going JUCO. I take time to reflect off of that, and, that just makes me, really appreciate the situation I'm in, and I'm really grateful for the league.
Absolutely. Now coming out of the Central Valley, coming out of Bakersfield, coming out of Kern County, was it a boost to your confidence at all, knowing that, so many D1 and NFL players came out of this area?
Yeah, I would say, it's a little chip on the shoulder because, I feel like, we're not recruited as highly as, people from LA and other, bigger areas. So just knowing that I was fortunate enough to, make it out, it does give me, some confidence. Knowing I came out of a small town, Bakersfield, it definitely does give me some confidence.
Absolutely. Now, for those that might just be casual fans, some will forget that you actually spent time in junior college before you went to K-State. Now, is it true that when you were at Cerritos that you really did have to share a 2-bedroom apartment with 7 of your other teammates?
Yeah, yeah, it was tough. The living situation was, it was crazy. But I knew that my goal was to, leave in 1 year. And, I just had to, make sacrifices for it. So, the living situation was very poor, to be honest. And just looking back at that, too, I'm just very thankful just to have, food every day. I'm just thankful for the little things, just to, be in a, a nice apartment, to have nice things. I'm very thankful for it all because I look back at those days and I feel like God took me through that. So I'll be able to appreciate, everything that I have now.
For sure. Yep. I agree with you. Now, how was that transition going from Cerritos and then having all those D1 offers and eventually ending up at Kansas State? How was that transition, and what went into you making that decision to go play up north in Kansas?
Yeah, I would say the transition was smooth, and a big part of it was me going JUCO, but another big part of it was me walking on at Fresno State my true freshman year. So I kind of, already knew what to expect coming to a D1, just how everything is programmed, weights in the morning, school and practice. So I would say that it was pretty smooth. And then going JUCO just made me real hungry, just to be successful, just because I had to go, through another struggle. So I knew that once I got the opportunity to go to a D1, I was going to, take full advantage of it. And I feel like I did that when I was at K-State. And I chose K-State because my cousin went there. and also just because they were the first big school to offer me, and I kind of based it off of that, and then I would be playing for Coach Snyder, who was a Hall of Fame coach. So I just I felt that was the best situation for me, and as well as I was going to be in the Big 12 playing against great receivers and high-powered offenses, so I knew I was going to get chances to make a lot of plays on the ball.
Absolutely. And then even at K-State, as you finished up your last season there, at what point did you feel that, you actually have a shot of, getting picked in the draft, and not only getting picked, but going to a great team where you'd be able to play right away and kind of make your imprint, throughout, OTAs and the preseason and rookie camp and all that?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, my goal, my whole life has been to get to the NFL. So I knew, my sophomore year, my redshirt sophomore year, my first year at K-State, I had a good season. I knew I would get the chance to go to the league if I had another good season coming off that year. And by the grace of God, I had another great season. And I would say the Kansas game, there was a lot of NFL scouts there, and I had one of my best games. And, Bleacher Report had me, as one of the top cornerback prospects coming out. So I kind of knew right there that I was going to have the opportunity to get drafted and to play in the NFL. So I kind of made my decision right there. And I kind of knew I was going to leave once all that manifested.
For sure. I can definitely understand that makes sense. If you have a great game, you have a great season, and you already have that goal, you're already mentally, you're almost there already.
Yeah, exactly.
And so when the Niners did pick you and you ended up going up to San Francisco and going into the preseason, what was your thought process like going into, man, this is my first NFL season, I'm officially here? Were you nervous? Were you excited? What was the combination of emotions you kind of felt as the season progressed and realizing, I'm a legit NFL player now?
Yeah, I had a lot of moments, but I would just say it kind of really, really woke me up. Like when I got drafted and stuff, obviously I was happy and stuff, but it didn't really hit me. I would say my first meeting, I was sitting next to Richard Sherman, and I was just like, I was nervous for whatever reason. Because I was sitting by, a legend, a future Hall of Fame player. And I was just like, man, I just wasn't talking. I was real quiet to myself. But in my head, my head was spinning. I was just like, I'm really by Richard Sherman. Like, this is crazy. And that was probably my first surreal moment. And I feel like that was probably, I say that was it when I realized that I'm here.
Absolutely. And then now that the season is pretty much over now, looking back at it, how do you feel your first year in the league, your rookie season went with the Niners, and that's your position, and, just how the season went for your first time through the ringer?
Yeah, I would say, there was a lot of ups and downs with our season. We didn't, get to where we wanted to be, which was the playoffs and the Super Bowl. But this year taught me a lot. I came off, every rookie came off, a whole season. And then we have to get ready for, the combine. And then you're ready for pro day. And then we have OTAs. And then we have training camp. And then we have preseason. And then we have a whole season. So, I mean, it was a lot on my body, which it was for everybody else's body. But you got to play through injuries. You got to be tough. That just comes with the game. And, I just learned a lot. I played, new positions. I played nickel, that was my first time playing nickel, and I played safety, which was my first time playing safety. So, there was a lot of bumps and bruises, but I learned a lot, and I feel like it's going to make me more valuable. And next year, my coaches were telling me that I might be playing nickel and corner and safety. So, just to be valuable, is going to help me in the long run. So I definitely learned a lot. It was like probably the most I've ever learned in football, but I was thankful for the opportunity, and I'm going to just continue to get better from it.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. As we bring it to a close, DJ, me and you have both lived in the Valley, have lived in Kern County, have lived in Bakersfield. What is it like now living up in the Bay Area, living in that, different weather and different environment throughout the football season? Do you like it? Are there certain things that you got to get used to, now living up near San Francisco and Oakland and, that northern part of California?
Yeah, Santa Clara, well, first, it's expensive, man. The cost of living is expensive, but Obviously, it's very nice. It's a lot of, technology and stuff, which is why, it's expensive. A lot of, it's like the headquarters of Snapchat, Facebook, everything's over there. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty chill, but everything around it is nice. But, I particularly like Bakersfield and LA better. That's just, where I'm really at in the off season. But, Santa Clara is cool. I actually haven't, been to San Francisco because Santa Clara is where the 49ers are actually located. So I haven't got time to make it up to San Fran yet. But I've heard a lot of good things about San Francisco. So hopefully I get to, make a trip up there in the off season.
Yeah, for sure. Now that the off season's here, you got any plans? You big vacations, Bahamas, Hawaii? You got all this time. You got things on your list that you're looking forward to doing now that you got a little free time before next season comes around.
Honestly, I don't. We were talking about it, me and my teammates. We were talking about it when the season was ending, like what they're going to do. But honestly, I've just been working out with my older brother, Craig Noble, since I've been back in Bakersfield. And, I'm going to keep continuing to do that. And then I'm going to LA next week, and I'm going to do the same there and get treatment. So, and this year I'm not going to, take a off-season trip, but maybe later down the road I will.
Absolutely. And then lastly, DJ, do you have any words of encouragement or confidence for those who are in your shoes where you were back when you were playing at Independence, or back when you were on your come up and going through JUCO and playing junior college football and then going D1? Do you have any words for them, for those kids that are on their way, or those teenagers, just because you've been there before already and now you've pretty much reached the pinnacle and, you're on your way? What would you say to those kids that are where you used to be?
Yeah, I would say a lot of things. I mean, the first thing I would say is just really to, basically just to have faith in yourself and to have faith in God. I would tell kids that, there's going to be bumps and bruises in the road. There's going to be times, where you feel like quitting. There's going to be times, where your parents or, your teachers, your coaches will tell you that you can't, go to the NFL or go be a doctor or whatever the situation is. People are going to tell you all types of things, but it's really up to you. Like, a lot of people will say you can't do anything because they set limits on themselves. But I would tell, basically anybody, like, don't set limits. You could achieve anything. Like, it's only crazy until you do it. But you could really do it, even though statistics say, it's a 0.01. A lot of people used to tell me that, like, once the NFL, it's a 0.01% chance of, making it there. Like, coaches used to tell me that. But, I always just knew, I always had faith that I was going to make it. And, obviously I'm here. And I would just, basically tell somebody, you just got to have faith in whatever you're doing, but you also got to work for it. There's going to be times where you're by yourself, you're going to feel lonely. People think success, they just see successful people and they just think, they're just successful, like they made it. But, like, they don't know half of what they have to do to get there. Like, sacrifices, blood, sweat, tears, ups and downs. There's so much ups and downs when you're trying to make it and trying to achieve stuff. And, in this society we live in, people just want the finished product. But, the successful people, they strain and they know that it's a process. And you got to really, embrace that process to get to where you want to get. So I was just telling them basically that, just to have faith and to actually do it instead of, being lazy or whatever the situation may be. Just go do it. And even if you don't make it, you go out there and give it all you got, you'll fall somewhere close to where you're trying to get to. So overall you'll be successful if you do that, I feel like.
Absolutely. DJ Reed, hey man, I appreciate it. We go way back, us and our families, and man, it's dope to be able to reconnect and both of us in our careers being able to do something like this. I definitely appreciate it, dog.
Oh, no problem, bro. No problem. This is DJ Reed of the San Francisco 49ers, and you're listening to Just Make Sense.